Wait. Eto na nga, kakagrant lang sa atin ng Korean visa. Yung kay Yosh, multiple entry, yung sa akin, single entry. Pero ano ba ang updated process sa pag-apply for a Korean visa? And paano ba makakuha ng multiple entry? Ano ang mga requirements? Ano ang mga credit cards na pwedeng gamitin para mas madali? Ang daming tanong na dapat sagutin, so simulan na natin. Hey there, poor traveler! I'm Vince, and in this video, idedetalye ko sa inyo kung paano mag-apply for a Korean short-term visa for tourism or business. Yes, tourist visa lang ang i-discuss natin dito kasi yun lang ang na-experience namin. If kailangan nyo ng work visa, student visa, or iba pang purpose, hindi na po namin alam yan. We're not employed by or affiliated with the Korean Embassy in Manila or the Korean Visa Application Center. We're only sharing tips based on our own experience applying for one. So, una, linawin natin. What type of visa ba ang dapat mong applyan? A C-3 Korean visa is a short-term visitor visa to enter South Korea for temporary stays. It's basically the go-to visa for people traveling for tourism, visiting family or friends, attending events, or short-term business trips. Under the C-3 category, there are a few common subtypes. So, ito yon. C-3-9 or yung tourist visa, ito yung the most common for sightseeing and leisure. Yung C-3-1 naman or yung short-term na general, for meetings, conferences, or non-tourism visits. And yung C-3-4 or yung pang-business, ito naman for short-term business activities. Pero no local employment. Yung validity, single or multiple entry, depends on approval. Yung stay duration, usually up to 59 or 90 days per visit, depending on what will you be granted. Purpose, non-work. You cannot earn income in Korea under nitong visa na to. Yung visa fee, free for stays of up to 59 days. 2,000 pesos naman for stays of 60 to 90 days. This is different from the processing fee that the Korean Visa Application Center will charge you. KVAC is a separate entity from the Korean Embassy. I-discuss natin yung final cost later. For now, pag-usapan muna natin. Ano ba ang requirements? Here are the basic requirements. Meaning, regardless of whether you're an employee or self-employed, you'll need these documents. Number 1, yung visa application form number 17. You'll find the download link in the pinned comment and description nitong video. Later, i-discuss ko kung paano i-accomplish yung form na to in detail. Number 2, one-piece passport size colored picture na taken within the past 6 months. Dapat kamukha ng current appearance mo. No hat or head cover that blocks the hairline or hair. Tapos, full face view facing the camera. And lastly, plain white or off-white na background. Number 3, original passport. Number 4, yung photocopy of passport bio page. Number 5, original copy and photocopy of valid visas and arrival stamps from countries that are members of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development o yung OECD. Only from within the past 5 years. Tapos, only if applicable. Number 6, copy of PRC card or IBP card. If applicable lang to. Kasi ito for professionals like doctors, lawyers, etc. Yung number 7, original personal bank certificate. Tapos, the following details must be indicated. Kasama dyan dapat yung account name, account type, account number, account opening date, current balance, average daily balance o yung ADB, tapos for the past 6 months. Yung common na tanong ngayon is, are bank statements required? Not anymore. Bank statements for the past 3 months used to be a requirement, but it was waived starting Feb 20, 2026. Tapos, number 8, invitation letter, if invited. There's no specific template for the invitation. You can use any format as long as the necessary details are present. But you might just want to use the sample form from the embassy itself. Yan. I-link din namin sa description tsaka pin comment itong template na galing sa embassy. Yan. Tapos, ito must be in both English and Korean. No need to have it notarized. Tapos, kailangan nyo indicate yung length of stay, purpose of the invitation, visit expenses, your relationship, and the personal information of the inviter, including contact details. In addition, ito pa, if the inviter is an individual, photocopy of the inviter's Korean ID. This can be resident register card, driver's license, or alien registration card. If the inviter is a company or organization, photocopy of business registration certificates or unique number certificates for non-profit corporations, government agencies, and organizations. You'll also need to provide additional supporting documents depending on your employment status or relationship to the inviter. Ito naman for employees. Number 1, photocopy of income tax return o yung ITR or yung BIR Form 2316. Number 2, original certificate of employment o yung tinatawag nilang COE. Tapos, kailangan yung indicate itong mga details na to. Applicant's position, date you were hired, compensation or remuneration, office address, landline number of your employer's human resources, tapos email address of your employer's human resources. You might have encountered information stating that if your company doesn't have a landline number or if the COE does not have a wet or physical signature, a letter explanation is required. But again, that is no longer the case. The rule has been changed recently. According to the update, the submission of an explanation letter will be waived in cases where there is no landline number indicated or when it is issued with an electronic signature. As long as other reachable contact information like yung email address or mobile phone number is provided, the document will be accepted. Yun. Ito naman for self-employed, yung mga business people o yung mga entrepreneurs. Yan. Yung una is photocopy of income tax return, ITR o yung BIR Form 2316. Number 2, photocopy of business registration from DTI or SEC. Number 3, photocopy of mayor's permit or business permit. Ito naman for housewives. Yung kailangan dyan is original PSA marriage certificate, photocopy of spouse ITR o yung income tax return kanina o yung BIR Form 2316. Personal or spouse's original bank certificate indicating the account name, account type, account number, opening date, current balance, and average daily balance for the past 6 months. If spouse is employed, kailangan dyan yung spouse certificate of employment indicating the position, date hired, compensation, office address, and contact number and email address of employer's human resources. If si spouse naman ay self-employed, ito yung kailangan. Copy of business registration from DTI or SEC. Copy of mayor's permit or business permit or mayor's permit. Ito naman for students. Kailangan dyan yung original copy of school certificate or copy of school ID. As of Feb 20, 2026, it's an either-or situation, unlike before when both are required. Kailangan din ng original PSA birth certificate, tapos yung parents' original PSA marriage certificate, then parents' original bank certificate indicating the account name, account type, account number, opening date, current balance, and average daily balance for the past 6 months. Photocopy of spouse's ITR. If parents are self-employed naman, copy of business registration from DTI or SEC, copy of mayor's permit or business permit or mayor's permit. Meron ding additional requirements for religious workers, retirees, and mga spouse, children, and in-laws of Koreans. Just visit the requirements page of the website of the Korean Embassy in Manila. Ililink namin yan sa pinned comment and sa description ng video na to. But good news! A simplified list of requirements program has been extended until December 2026. Yon, good news tayo. This reduces the number of documents to be submitted by elected officials, high-ranking government officials, professional license holders, and eligible gold or elite credit card holders. Pero, let's just focus on the last two. So, eto, discuss natin yung mga eligible credit card holders. Hindi na kailangan mag-submit ng bank documents and ITR, provided that you will submit the following. Una is employment certificate, copy of credit card, pero yung harap lang, with complete information. You only need to cover the 3-digit CVV o yung security number. Kailangan din yung latest 3 months credit card bill o yung account statement. For immediate family members, proof of relationship with the primary card holder, birth certificate or marriage certificate. What cards are covered? Ito yung sa BDO and BPI na accepted na cards. Yan, kita nyo sa screen now. Ito naman ang sa RCBC, Metrobank, and PNB. If you're holding any of these credit cards, you and your immediate family members, like parents, spouse, minor children, and spouse's parents, can take advantage of it. Pero for family members, you'll also need to submit proof of relationship with the primary card holder. Only primary card holders and immediate family are eligible, not supplementary card holders. Discuss naman natin yung 4 professional license holders. Hindi na kailangan ng bank documents and ITR if you're a physician, dentist, veterinarian, pharmacist, certified public accountant, or lawyer, including prosecutors and judges, and your immediate family members, like parents, spouse, minor children, and spouse's parents. Provided that you will submit the following. Una na dyan yung copy of PRC card or IBP card for lawyers. Original certificate of employment. For family members naman, kailangan ng proof of relationship. Na-mention natin yan kanina, yung mga documents na yan. If you notice, we didn't submit any flight bookings or hotel reservations. They are not required. Even if you include it, the staff will just remove them from the pile. We were actually visiting Korea this time around as part of a cruise. So we included the cruise booking showing that we have a Busan port of call. Pero ayun, binalik nila sa akin. So hindi siya talaga kailangan, guys. So inavail ko tong simplified option. As a primary card holder of an eligible credit card and an employee, I only needed to submit the following. Una is yung visa application form. Pangalawa, yung passport size picture. Pangatlo, original passport. Tapos, photocopy nung passport bio page. Yung panglima is original photocopy of valid OECD visas and arrival. And then yung original certificate of employment. And then yung copy of credit card. Tapos yung latest 3 months credit card bill o yung account statement. Then, panghuli, yung cover letter. Technically, yun lang yung mga kailangan kong isubmit. Pero dahil nga may copy na ako ng ITR and madali lang namang i-print yung mga bank statements, sinama ko na lang din. Tinanggap naman nila. Nag-include din kami ng cover letter. Ginagawa naman talaga namin siya. Kasi gusto namin i-express yung intention talaga namin na makakuha ng multiple entry visa. Pero single entry lang yung nabigay sa akin. Tapos si Yosh, nagka-multiple entry visa siya. Yun. Before we tackle the submission process, let's first focus on one of the most important documents that you need to submit. the visa application form. First of all, make sure you have the latest version. As of this recording, the most recent version was last revised in Feb 2022. Makita niyo yung download link in the pinned comment and description ng video na to. A few things that you need to note: kailangan i-print mo yan sa A4 size na papel. Tapos, computerized ba or handwritten? Before the Korean Visa Application Center was established, back when most applications were lodged at travel agencies, there was a rule that the form must be accomplished digitally, except the signature section. Tapos may required pa nga na font, yung Arial, tapos yung size niya 12. I think yung rule na to is for legibility. Handwritten forms were discouraged pa back then. Hindi lang ako sure ngayon kung strictly pa ba siyang ini-implement. Pero hindi namin siya nasunod. Kasi ang ginamit namin is Arial tapos size 16. It wasn't called out or rejected naman. Doon sa mga fields naman na hindi applicable, pwede nyo siyang iwan na blank. May iba nagsasabi ilagay daw NA, tapos may iba naman daw iwan na blanco. Kami, iniwan namin siya ng blank. Tapos hindi naman siya nagka-problem sa KVAC na staff nung chinek nila. Also, there were fields that I missed and she told me to just fill it on the spot. Handwritten. So, yun. So, they are not totally against handwritten forms, at least in some parts. So, eto na. Actually, straightforward lang naman siya for the most part. So, isa-isahin natin yung parts na pwedeng maging confusing. Unahin natin sa personal details, yung 1.2. This is actually asking for your Korean name. If you don't have one, pwede nyo na itong skip or iwan yung blanco. Yung 1.7, National Identity Number. So, ilalagay nyo dyan yung National ID number ninyo kung meron na kayo. Pero kung wala, iwan nyo siyang blanco. Punta naman tayo sa details of visa application. Yung 2.1, period of stay, I usually just choose short-term, stay less than 90 days. Yung 2.2, status of stay, this is actually the purpose of your visit or the visa type that you're applying for. If you're traveling for tourism, write C-3-9 tourist or simply tourist. This might be different sa case mo. Double check na lang sa KVAC na website or sa Korean Embassy na website. Below it, you'll find a section labeled for official use only. Huwag niyong sulatan yan. Iwan niyo siyang blanco. Move on na tayo to page 2, yung passport information. Everything you need to write here you can find on your passport's bio page. But pay extra attention to these fields. 3.1, passport type. Choose regular. Yung 3.7, does the applicant have any other valid passports? If you don't have one, choose no. Tapos iwan nyo ng blanco yung mga nasa baba. The next few sections are very easy to understand. Yung contact information, marital status, and family details, education and employment. So, ayan. Kaya, skip na tayo to section 8. Yung details of visit. 8.1, purpose of visit. Tick the box that corresponds to your purpose. In my case, it's tourism or transit. Yung 8.2, intended period of stay, isulat nyo lang dyan kung ilang araw yung plano nyo na magstay sa Korea. Pwede nyo isulat na 1 day, 2 days. Siyempre, dapat yung totoo. Yung 8.3, intended date of entry, ito yung date na mag-enter ka ng Korea or yung date na darating yung flight mo. Tapos, ito namang 8.4, address in Korea. If you're staying at a hotel, write down the hotel's full address. If you're visiting on a cruise ship, enter the name of the ship. Sa 8.6, has the applicant traveled to Korea in the last 5 years? If no, i-tick nyo lang na no. Tapos, leave nyo na yung iba na blanco. Nakapag-Korea na kami a few times before. Pero, not within the last 5 years. So, ayun. If you visited Korea in the last 5 years naman, enter the purpose and dates of your stay. Sa 8.7, your travel history excluding Korea within the last 5 years, just enter the country, purpose, and dates of stay. May 5 rows na provide sila dun sa form. So, if mas marami kayong isusulat, you can write it down on a separate na sheet. Let's proceed to Section 9, Details of Invitation. Itong 9.1, is there anyone inviting the applicant for the visa? If no one is inviting you, just choose no and leave the rest of the section blank. Otherwise, enter their details. Section 10 is all about funding details. Yung 10.1, estimated travel cost in US dollars. I-enter nyo lang dyan kung magkano yung sa tingin niyo yung gagastusin nyo sa Korea. Our only guidance here is to make it make sense. Wag naman yung 20 days yung stay mo pero ang ilalagay mo dyan is 100 USD. So, yung realistic naman, guys. 10.2, who will pay for the applicant's travel expenses? Notice that there's a note here. Any relevant person including the applicant and or organization. So if you don't have a sponsor and you will be funding the trip yourself, write your name in the A field, then in the B field, write myself. Type of support, financial. Then write your contact number. Punta naman tayo sa assistance with the form. 11.1, does the applicant receive assistance in completing this form? Hindi. So, ang pinili natin dyan is no. Tapos, iniwan natin yung the rest na blanco. The last part is the declaration. Then, type your name and sign in the tiny space below applicant name and signature respectively. Eto na. Punta na tayo sa submitting your application. Once you have gathered all the requirements, it's time to submit them to the Korean Visa Application Center o yung KVAC. Hindi mo kailangan ng appointment or prior reservation. May option to schedule an appointment for a fee, but walk-in applicants are accepted. Ito yung step-by-step submission guide. Step 1, make your way to the Korean Visa Application Center in BGC. Ito yung full address. Yes, the center is housed in a hotel building, yung Whitney Hotel just next to SM Aura. Ito yung operating hours for submission of documents. Yung oras is from 8:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Pagdating mo, enter the hotel and walk through the hotel cafe to your right. You'll find a single elevator. Sakay ka lang dyan, tapos punta ka ng 9th floor. You'll immediately see the KVAC as soon as you get out of the elevator. Step 2, get a number. At the entrance to KVAC, you'll mostly find a queue. If you're arriving in the afternoon, there will be 2 queues, one for submission and one for releasing. Make sure na nasa tamang pila ka kasi pag turn mo na, yung staff nila i-check yung documents and bibigyan ka ng number. If makita nila na may mga missing documents, sasabihin naman nila sa iyo yan. If you need to photocopy something, you can do that here too. May bayad nga lang. If I remember it correctly, 20 pesos yan, yung photocopy. Ito yung mga some important reminders. Only the applicants are allowed at the KVAC. Only children, PWDs, and seniors are allowed a companion. Pag picture and video recording, bawal dito. Bawal dito sa loob ng KVAC. Once you have a number, pasok na kayo sa loob. Kaya punta na tayo sa step 3. Wait for your number to be called. Actually, hindi kami naghintay ng matagal. Kasi in-expect namin na matagal kaming matatawag na mahaba yung pila. Kasi may mga nabasa kami ng mga online accounts na sinasabi nila na hours daw yung hinintay nila. Pero sa case namin, from the moment we were given a number, we probably waited for only 30-ish minutes before natawag yung number namin. But perhaps during peak season, you might be in for a long wait. Advance reservation or appointment might be useful then. Hindi ko lang alam if worth it siya because hindi pa namin siya nasubukan. Kapag natawag na yung number nyo, proceed na lang kayo sa upper floor. You'll also be assigned a counter. So punta na tayo sa step 4, submit your documents. When you approach the assigned counter, yung staff will thoroughly check all your documents, including your answers on the application form. Ipo-point out naman nila if may na-miss kang field or section. Tapos, i-ask ka naman nila na i-fill out mo yun. They will also instruct you to pay the service fee. Remember, if your stay is shorter than 59 days, the actual visa is free of charge. You'll only be paying the service fee na 900 pesos. Tapos, kung nag-avail kayo ng photocopy na service nila, kailangan nyo ding isettle yun dito. So, na-mention ko kanina, 20 pesos per page siya. Once you have the receipt, go back to your assigned counter. Yung staff, i-check nila yung resibo. Tapos, sasabihan kanila ng mga important reminders, including when you can expect the result and how to check online. Yung buong proseso namin, simula nung dumating kami ng KVAC hanggang sa umalis kami ng application center, 1 hour and 20 minutes. So, from here, you'll be playing a waiting game. According to KVAC, as of March 17, 2026, the regular processing time has been extended to 20 working days. So, keep this in mind. Express application takes only 5 working days. Pero everyday namin check yung Korean visa website para i-check yung status ng application namin. Kaya, pag-usapan natin yan. So, how to check the status of your visa application? So, punta kayo ng visa.go.kr tapos click nyo yung English. So, ganito yung itsura ng website yan. Makita nyo sa screen ngayon. On the left menu, hover on Check Application Status, then tap on Check Application Status and Print. Select Diplomatic Office and enter your details. Passport number, full name, pero yung full name yung format niya is last name tapos first name. Tapos birth date, yung YYYMMDD na format. Tapos click search. In the first few days, yung magdi-display dyan is under review. But eventually, when the application is approved, hopefully, it will change to approved. It will also indicate the type of visa, yung kung single entry ba yung nakuha or multiple entry. Tapos yung expiry date of the visa and status of stay. It will also display a link button labeled certificate that will lead you to a copy of your visa. Save it. Yan, save nyo yan. Nakuha namin yung result noong Feb 19, much earlier than the Feb 24 projected date. So that's 12 business days or 16 calendar days. Pero kailangan nyo pa rin hintayin yung tinatawag nila na screened and stored text message before returning to KVAC to claim your passport. Ganito yung itsura niyan. Yung message kasi na to, ito yung go signal mo para i-claim mo na yung passport mo. So, how to pick up your passport at the KVAC? The releasing process is pretty much the same as the submission process. Punta ka ng KVAC at Brittany Hotel sa BGC, tapos take the elevator up to 9th floor. Tapos kuha ka ng number, pero siguraduhin mo na pumipila ka sa releasing instead of application. Kapag tinawag na yung number mo, punta ka sa taas and proceed to the assigned counter. Hintayin mo na matawag yung pangalan mo and makuha yung passport. I-make sure mo lang na sa'yo talaga yung passport na yan bago ka umalis. Note that you won't find any visa sticker anymore. The Korean Embassy stopped using physical visas several years ago. It's now fully digital. I hope in the future, hindi na nila kailangan pang i-keep yung passport since yung visa is digital naman siya. Yung i-check na lang nila upon submission tapos ibabalik nila sa atin. there really is no need to keep it in their possession naman talaga. Pero grateful pa rin tayo kasi nakakuha naman tayo ng Korean visa. Lalong-lalo na si Yosh, nakakuha siya ng multiple entry Korean visa. Galing. Speaking of multiple entry visa, so paano nga ba nakakuha si Yosh ng multiple entry Korean visa? Walang clear na list ng requirements for applications for multiple entry visa. You can ask for one, but there's no assurance your request will be granted. How do you request for multiple entry? Through a cover letter. Earlier, na-mention natin na nag-submit tayo ng cover letter. Ganito yung itsura niya. If you want a template, maglalagay ka man ng link sa description ng video na to and sa pin comment na rin. In this letter, ginustify lang namin na kailangan namin ng multiple entry visa. Sinabi namin na nagpaplano kami na mag-visit ng Korea twice in the near future. Na-specify yung dates and purpose of those visit and the details. Na-explain din namin dyan yung travel history and wala kaming record ng overstaying. Na-surprise nga si Yosh yung nakakuha siya ng multiple entry because nakapag-Korea lang siya ng twice. And it's been 10 years since nung last na punta niya. Yun. Kaya, congrats sa kanya. Ang tanong is, does submitting a cover letter automatically mean you'll be granted a multiple entry visa? Ang sagot dyan is no. Of course not. It's still completely up to them. To demonstrate how unpredictable it can be, kami kasing dalawa ni Yosh, almost identical yung travel history namin and yung finances. We submitted the same set of documents, tapos yung iba pa nga shared yung joint bank accounts, tapos our cover letter was the exact same. But, yun, si Yosh lang yung nakakuha ng multiple entry. Tapos ako, single entry. So, ang hirap talaga masabi. Okay, now, punta naman tayo sa frequently asked questions. How early should I apply for a Korean visa? You can enter Korea at any time within the next 3 months or 90 days of the issue date. So if your visa is issued on July 1, you can enter anytime before October 1. So that means you can apply as early as 3 months or 90 days before nung departure date. Pero take note that regular processing takes 20 working days as of March 2026. So siguraduhin nyo na hindi kayo mag-a-apply ng masyadong malapit to your travel date. How long would I be allowed to stay in Korea? 59 days if you're granted a regular tourist visa. You can apply for a longer stay but you must be able to justify that. Do I need to book flights and hotels before applying? No. Hindi siya required. Tinay namin itong isama dun sa submission nung application namin pero inalis din nila. Tapos binalik nila sa amin. How long does the entire visa application take? According to the KVAC, ito yung mga processing times. Yung regular processing, 20 working days. Yung express processing, 5 working days. We applied before this update. We were told it would take 18 working days. Pero nakareceive na kami ng notification na yung visa namin approved na after 12 working days lang. I think yung volume of application also matter. If it's peak season, mas matagal. But apply early to be safe. How much is a Korean visa? Here are the current visa fees. For stays shorter than 59 days, free siya. For stays 60 days or longer, 2,000 pesos. On top of that, KVAC charges a service fee. Na yun nga, yung regular processing na 900 pesos, tapos yung express processing na 1,400 pesos na service fees plus 1,000 pesos na visa fee. What does a Korean visa look like? Yan, ganito ang itsura niya. Actually, 1 page na lang siya. Yan, nandyan na lahat. Ayun! Kung nagbabalak kang mag-apply soon, sana nakatulong sa inyo ang video na to and sana ma-approve ang application ninyo. Sa next episode, isa na namang experience ang ito-try natin and aalamin kung worth it bang gastusan or hindi. Ready na ba kayo sa Disney Adventure Cruise? Kung ayaw niyong mamiss yan at hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, alam mo na. Hit subscribe, tap the bell at i-on ang notifications para ikaw ang unang makapanood. And don't forget to use our promo codes. We get credited for every booking and it helps us keep making more videos for you. And remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every visa application worth it! Bye-bye!